Hello, welcome to the video. Today, we are checking out Chasing Immortality. Now, there hasn't been much overly covered about it recently from what I've seen. So, today, as we can see, I have about 25 hours into this. I played around a bit and I decided that, hey, there's a couple things I wish I knew before I had started up the entire thing for the game. As due to that reason, there's a couple tips and tricks that just seem to be quite important to know before you start this game, as due to the fact of it has an entire rebirth system to it. Now, this rebirth system is unique. As you can see, we can cultivate. Cultivating raises our stats as well as ages our character up. Our lifespan is more or less your goal, as the higher your lifespan, the more your life will be for that time. Due to that, there's a couple things that actually in fact affect on how fast you age, how much Q you need, as every time you cultivate and go to the next rank up, it will cost more Q. Of course, this goes on. The longer your life, the longer it takes. The reason why you want to have a longer lifespan is that is how you get reincarnation points. Reincarnation points are the skeleton for the journey, to say. As every time you reincarnate, you'll get a small amount of points. Now, those points can be earned over time due to upgrades and the reincarnation tree. Now, the reincarnation tree is complicated. It has a lot of stuff, and because of how new the game is, there is not a lot of info out there unless you physically join their Discord. Due to that, here's a couple tricks that I've picked up over time. 1. Sword fragments multiplier. Those are going to be your bread and butter. With your Q multiplier, that is your bread and butter to start the game. Those are really important, as the most important upgrade in the game increases the amount of soul fragments you gain. They are essential for the progression and upgrading, so this early on will help speed things up so you can help get better lives sooner, better bloodlines sooner, and be able to get more fragments later on. Q multiplier is also important due to the factor of that affects how quickly you can cultivate and how quickly it'll take before you can rank up. Now, due to that, that will be kind of overall will be overall multiple sources combined into one, as there's different multipliers of Q. Due to that, it varies. We can reincarnate now, so I can fully show you the skill tree. Now, when you reincarnate, currently you cannot challenge fate that I am aware of personally, as I'm still fairly early into the game. Reincarnate will give you fragments. This is the skill tree for the soul fragments. Over here, bloodline potential, talent potential, maximum talent. Each one of these has their own individual. Each one of these are important due to the factor of eventually you will get all of these slowly. Now, to start off, what you will want to try and get after tapping the rebirth is Soul Steel. Soul Steel lets you basically get more soul fragments every time you reincarnate, as it'll take a percentage of your affinity, bloodline, and talent capped at the player's max talent or beast, which I do not have access to currently, upon death with your reincarnation, and will trade it for soul fragments, and that scales as you go up. Q multiplier is important as this will be a overall scale over time. Due to that, the later lives can take a while, as there are people who currently play it that it can take them upwards of an hour to upgrade to the next level, but that's just due to grinding. Now, the RNG and upgrade potentials. Bloodline potential increases the chance of getting rare bloodlines. Rare bloodlines equals stronger multipliers. The stronger the multiplier, the better off the race. But due to that, it also makes certain races much more rare. Due to that reason of it making certain bloodlines rare, there are a couple bloodlines that do increase the multiplier you get for QI. However, they're pretty rare. Maximum affinity rises the possible affinity you can roll. The higher it is, the more likely you are to get the rare bloodlines, and not rare bloodlines, but the higher affinities, and less likely to get low affinities. Minimum talent works like maximum affinity, but for talent. It prevents you from getting very weak talents. Then we have Soul Steel. That would be about the 7th, roughly. I, when I first started up, did not know this. Due to that, I've wasted a lot of soul fragments. Sure, it's nice that I can see everything, but due to those wasted soul fragments, there's plenty of stuff that I've traded off. Due to that, my progress has been hindered slightly. But that is completely fine. Soulsteel more or less removes the annoying RNG issue, lets you secure powerful builds early and making progression more consistent. It's what I chose because of that reason. Mind you, this is fully just off of just my experience. You could have a totally different player setup that you want to go for. That's completely fine. The next set would be for up here. Your copper, silver, and gold with your stamina. Those will affect the story side of the game. The story is still being made in progress, so it's not fully complete in some areas. But what the creators have is a good amount. And due to that, there's plenty of different slight possible routes you can take and different affinities. Then next up, we'd have the stone and stone mats multipliers here. These just increase the amount of silver fragments stones you gain, the maximum number of silver fragment stones you can hold, but that's kind of more for the late game side of things. Due to that, the big thing that will help you overall will be like this. You'll want to have your soul fragment multiplier and QI multiplier maxed out as soon as you can. Mind you, it may take a while, but that's fine. Then you'd go down to bloodline potential, talent potential, maximum affinity, and the minimum affinity, minimum talent, then stamina multiplier, copper, silver, gold. They're kind of more for late tier. Soul stone multipliers, stones, mats. Soul steel is kind of more for late game, technically speaking. But overall, it's a pretty niche, kind of small in a way, as on Roblox, it has less than 1,000 people actively playing it. Those that do thoroughly enjoy it and are very insightful and always willing to answer questions. The staff is very helpful if you have questions or run into any issues. But I just wanted to get this out there as I feel that many new players could make mistakes similar to what I did. I tried to do a little bit of everything. That worked slightly, but where I'm currently at, it was wasteful. It was a screw up on my end. I had fully didn't think about it or anything. I just spread it all out. But check communities here. Let's see what this bloodline has for me. As hopefully I have good affinities and bloodlines. Okay, one affinity. And that's, yeah, it could be better, but not the worst thing in the world. Maybe my bloodline will slightly make up for it. But hey, that's fine. This gives a good kind of idea of what it's kind of like with a slightly higher bloodline. I will say that the estimated soul fragment gain upgrade is quite helpful, as it can give you a good idea of how much you are going to get from this life. And let's see, join this to get the book to be able to keep upgrading this. And yeah, it's kind of just a very long process. At first, it can take a good while, but after you get the hang of it and get a couple reincarnation points in, you're perfectly good. Now, due to that, there are a couple things about the game. It, just like any other game, does have a few codes. To go to the codes, you'd go to miscellaneous and then codes. The first code is, like the game 2, that will give you one heaven pill. And as you can see, I've already used the code. Next is We Love Kadavi. I probably butchered that, but this will give you 10 soul fragments. Then we have Release, which gives you 2 soul fragments. Then we have Open Test 1, which will give you 15 soul fragments. Next up, we have TY4 support, and that code will give you 10 soul fragments. Next up, we have WoW update. This code will give you 30 soul fragments. Now, this next one, 9k likes, will give you 1 heaven pill. The heavens pill will give you a plus 50% talent. Mind you, this is only permanent for this character's life. So, keep that in mind. Next up, we have update 3, which will give you 100 of them. Then we have Sorry for Bug, which will give you 200. And then we have Shutdown, which will give you another Heaven's Pill. Then we have the last 2 codes here. Bug Fixes, which will give you 10. And Sorry for the Shutdown, which would have given you 10, so never mind. And yeah, that is more or less a few tips and tricks I've learned from my time being around playing the game. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this helps you if you choose to check out the game. Alrighty, select me logging off.